people. Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good. Or excellent. What? What's up, Steam Deck fans? Steam Deck Tribe, Steam Deck Nation, Steam Deck Universe, Steam Deck World, Steam Deck Legion, what's good? Steam Deck Mob, what's happening? Steam Deck Squad, what's up? And to you Steam Deck nerds, geeks, and freaks, and you investigators, what's happening? We couldn't find a game, man. Steam Deck couldn't run. Bad little handheld, man. And the button layouts on this thing is perfect, especially with these two triggers here, man. Oh yeah, they nailed it. Okay, listen up, Arcane Studios. Don't do what Crystal Dynamics did by not fixing the Avengers. Don't do what Crystal Dynamics did, okay? By not fixing Redfall, okay? Don't do it. Okay, here's the deal. I messed up in the sentence, but anyway, look, here's the deal. When it comes to when it came to the Avengers, the story was fine. The combat system was fine. The only problem with the Avengers was the open worldness. Look, when WB Games, they made DC Universe back in the PlayStation 3 era. They gave everybody the blueprint on how to make superhero games. It's like basically they said it without even telling anybody. If you're gonna make a superhero game, this is the format it needs to be in. Going from here on out. Okay? Right? This is the blueprint, this is the layout, this is the schematics, this is the diagram. Okay? Rocksteady followed the blueprint with Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. And they had tremendous success with it. Insomniac Games with Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales followed that blueprint. And they had tremendous success with Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Okay? Crystal Dynamics now, when they came out with the Avengers, they tried to do their own thing. And when they came out with the game was crap. Because it's not open world like how say Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's not like DC Universe. It's not like Batman Arkham Knight. The game didn't have any open worldness to it. When you have Iron Man and he can't fly to the top of a building or to the clouds, that is a problem. And that was the main problem with the Avengers game. The open worldness needs to be fixed. And all Crystal Dynamics had to do was go back to the drawing board and just fix that. And just keep updating the game after that. And they refused to do it. So when it comes to now, so now when it comes to Redfall, don't run from it. Don't run from it. To all those critics that was like that was bad mouthing the game and running their mouth and saying all the negative stuff, and a majority of them were PlayStation fans. You need Arcane Studios. You guys need to get back at them. Like, oh really? Is that what you guys think? Okay, when we make Redfall 2, we're gonna throw it right at you, and you can't play. And that's how you guys should have approached this. But anyway, listen to this. Listen to this. It says here, Redfall fans frustrated over Arkane's silence after poor launch. Like the saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Okay? Alright. Says here, Redfall has made its name popular for all the wrong reasons, despite Arcane Studios' reputation as an external developer. The studio missed the mark with its latest release. Following the launch, it quickly became the studio's worst game and joined the list of the worst reviewed games on Steam. Therefore, it did not live up to everyone's expectation. Let me ask you all this. It's the worst. So let me get this straight, Arcane Studios. You made one game and it didn't It didn't live up to so-called expectation, and you're gonna let that, and you're gonna walk around with your head down just because of that. Let me ask you this, Arcane Studios. Has Nintendo ever made a bad game? Are all the games that Nintendo make, are they top 10? Are they even top 9 or even top 8? Not every game Nintendo makes make the top 9 or top 8. A lot of them are not that good. Okay. Every studio in the video game industry, they always make a bad game. They always do. It's just a part of the industry. There is no such thing as a studio makes all perfect game and never make a bad one. Okay? They always make bad games. There's no such thing as a studio going through the industry making all perfect games and never make a bad one. So you guys need some confidence within yourself. Okay? But anyway, look, it says here, while many fans and buyers of the game hopes for improvement through future patches and updates, Arcane Studio has let fans down once again. One fan recently took to Reddit expressing frustration over the silence from the developer. Why it matters. Games like Cyberpunk 2077 have recently shown the result of continuous updates and patches from developers. After poor release as such, many were looking forward to similar treatments for Redfall. 3 months after the release and Redfall has no substantial update. People are also still waiting on additional content they paid for. Says here, before it launched, Redfall was expected to run at 60 FPS on Xbox Series S and X consoles. However, Arcane Studio released the game at 30 FPS, promising to boost performance to 60 FPS in a future patch. Fans should also note that the game's marketing advertised 60 FPS as a critical feature before this change. And then it says, this was just one aspect that fans had hoped for in the future updates. However, the situation is far from promising right now. At the point, as pointed out on Reddit, the game has not received a single major update in the last 3 months. That's not good. You got to communicate with your users. You know, you got a base for that game. You got to communicate. It says here, the post also point out that Phil Spencer claimed Redfall will continue to be supported. However, it remains unclear if Arcane Studio is currently working on a patch. Redfall active internet connection requirement was among the most controversial aspect of the game, but Direct promised to work on the issue. Several months later, the requirement has not seen any major modifications. Following the game's disastrous launch, a report highlighted that Arcane Studios developers were not happy with Redfall's state, and many hoped that Microsoft would cancel the game. Keeping this in mind, the team may be doing the bare minimum to fulfill promises like additional characters for more expensive addition. This could also mean 60 FPS may not be added to the game, but that remains to be seen. The Reddit post has several users expressing their disappointment with the game, and it seems like most players have lost hope for Redfall. While Arcane Studios may not be able to redeem Redfall, all hopes has not been lost. Arcane Austin has already begun to hire new developers for its next project. Job listings have confirmed the studios is returning to its roots, focusing on a single-player element for its next project. This bodes well for the studio's next title, considering several years of experience it has accumulated in the genre. All right, good article, Tweaktown. Look, like I said before in the beginning, Arcane Studios, don't do what Crystal Dynamics did by not fixing the open worldness of the Avengers, because there are a couple there are a couple of Unreal Engine videos that were on the internet that showed off an Iron Man and a Superman game that Crystal Dynamics could have used as motivation to fix the Avengers open worldness of the Avengers game. But back to you now, Arcane Studios. Look, in this video game industry, there is no such thing as a studio going through the game industry and they don't make a bad game. There is no such thing as a perfect studio. And this video is directed right at you guys. There is no such thing as a studio that goes through the game industry and they don't make a bad game. Okay? Every studio that makes video games, they make bad games. Okay? The thing is this too, you got a lot of YouTubers, you know, they like to destroy things. They think the video game industry runs through, I mean, not YouTubers, but I would say YouTubers, people on Twitch, Twitter, wherever they are. They think the video game industry runs through them, so they have a tendency to badmouth and destroy games, and before the game gets a chance to grow. So if I'm the heads at Arcane Studio, we're like, okay, is that what you guys are saying? Okay, we're gonna look at the first game and see where we made our mistakes at, and correct them. But then we're gonna take that, that and use that to build a second game, and then throw it right at I would say the PlayStation user base, or whoever was bad mouthing the game when the game come out. Whether it's a YouTuber, whether it's anybody on the internet that was saying something negative, I will use that as motivation and build a second game, instead of, like, you know, just walking around with your head down thinking it's over. Nah. The video game industry comes with trials and errors. You know, so you learn from your mistakes, and then you keep on improving. So the developers at Arcane Studios need to look at Redfall and say, okay, where can we, like, okay, where did we make our mistakes? What can we correct? What part of the story in the first game we can use to build a second game? Okay, and what kind of, like, okay, what can we take from the first game and then improve it in the second game? And that's how they need to approach this. Okay, and they need to continuously updating the game. Look, a lot of people they badmouth it. They jump all over Anthem, but Anthem is still here. You know, and the game is, like, still getting little updates here and there. So every game that's being made can be fixed. Every game that's made can be repaired, can be fixed. It depends on how serious you take the situation, and how bad you want to fix the problem that's at hand. Because jumping to a new game and then avoiding the problem that you were trying to fix, it never fixed the situation. The game is still in the state that it is. So Arcane Studios, they need to fix that game before. Don't even build a new game of whatever new game they're trying to build. They need to cancel that and work on the second game. Fix the first game, but take what they learned from the first game. Take what they learned from the first game and apply it to Redfall 2, and improve a lot of things, and that should fix a lot of problems. There's no such thing as a studio going through the game industry and everything is all smooth sailing and everything is all perfect, and they never have an up and down moments. Like I said before, has all the game Nintendo makes, are they in the top 10? Are they in the top 9 or even in the top 8? No, they're not. Not every game Nintendo makes is in the top 10, top 8, or top 9. Okay? Just saying. Okay? Every studios have their up and down moments in this game industry. Every studio does. So you you learn from your errors and you correct your mistakes and you move on. But Arkane Studios need to work on Redfall 2. Update the first game. Update the first game. Look at where they made their mistakes at, and look at the mechanics of the first game and say, okay, how can we correct this in Redfall 2, and then go on from there. And that should fix the problem. Okay, but just because you release a bad game, just because you release a game and it didn't come swinging out the gate, it doesn't mean that the game was terribly bad or whatever. It means that there's some things that need to be fixed. And the thing with Crystal Dynamics now and the Avengers, they're talking about working on a Tomb Raider game when they should have been fixing the Avengers. The only problem that was wrong with the Avengers was the open worldness. Because if I have Iron Man and I can't fly to the top of a high-rise building, or I can't fly around it, or I can't fly through it, and I can't fly upward through it, that is a problem. Just saying. Just saying. So that's what the problem was with the game. Because it became evident when you were in the city and you were like going down the street. You see all these platforms and you thought the platform was for like say Captain America or somebody. And then when you're Iron Man, you can only fly up to a certain point. That was a problem. But then when you got down to the Ames building now, where them 3 security cameras were, you were like, you try to fly to the top of that building, and you still couldn't get up there. And then it became clear that what the problem was. So they should have fixed that problem, and they ran from it. So the problem that they were supposed to take care of is not fixed. They need to fix that. The Avengers is still a good game. It's just that the open worldness of the game need to be fixed, and that was it. Okay, but as far as Redfall Studios go, they need to look at Redfall. Arkane Studios, not Redfall Studios. As far as Arkane Studios go, they need to look at the first game and say, okay, where did we make our errors at? Where did we make our mistakes? Where is the game? What is the game lacking? What needs to be improved? How can we fix this situation? And that's how they need to approach this. And once they figure that part out, now start adding the updates. But then look at the game again and say, okay, what can we take from this game to build Redfall 2? And then they want to build Redfall 2 to a point where it get back at the people that were saying all the negative stuff about the first game. And that's what they need to do. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars and Star Trek fan. Work, dark side. Go. Peace.